everybody, it's Becky and I'm back today with a fun video regarding Halloween. I always love it when there's a holiday coming up, especially now that we homeschool too. It's fun to, when there's holidays coming up, to incorporate that into our lesson plans, and it's also fun to incorporate it into our daily lives because the kids get really excited. So what I'm going to talk to you about today is actually about a book that I mentioned in my Christian Books video, Christian Books for Kids video I did a couple weeks ago. I'll link it below if you haven't seen it. And I mentioned this book, and this is My Happy Pumpkin by Crystal Bowman. It's published by Zonder Kids. And I mentioned this book because, you know, Halloween is coming up, and it's a nice way to incorporate Jesus and God and the story of how they can transform our lives through the carving of a pumpkin, if that makes any sense. But anyway, it's a really colorful little book. It is a board book, but I mean, it's got quite a few words on each page, so it's not terribly... and it's not really a baby book, I wouldn't say, even though it is a board book. And I really like the book because it goes through the story of the farmer and the pumpkin and how the seeds grow into a pumpkin, and then the farmer takes care of the pumpkin. And it's a way to, we're going to be carving pumpkins and doing all that with our kids coming up, and it's a way to incorporate the story of how Jesus came and transformed our lives. He scooped out all the yucky stuff, which is symbolized by the seeds and all the stuff that's inside a pumpkin. And he gave us carving the new face in the pumpkin translates to giving us a new life, as the fact that we're able to be forgiven and for our sins and go to heaven. So I think this is a really perfect time to read this book, even if we've already had it in our libraries, to read it again right before we carve our pumpkins. We're going to carve ours the weekend before Halloween, and then after Halloween's over, the pumpkin's going away and the Christmas tree's going up. We're very early decorators in our house, but I was going to post this video closer to Halloween, but I wanted to go ahead and post it now in case you didn't have this book. You'd have time to look for it at your local library, or you can purchase it. I checked, and you can get it from Amazon, although there's only a couple sellers that did sell it new if you were interested in that. But you can look on there. Also barnesandnoble.com, walmart.com, and christianbook.com. I haven't been to the Barnes & Noble store, so I don't know if they have it in store. You might want to call. But all those places, it was between $5 and $8. So it's a decent price, and it's the kind of book that I think no matter how old your kids get, it's a tradition that you can start now, that every Halloween you read the book and you carve the pumpkin, and maybe you put the candle in it and you watch a cartoon or something, maybe a Charlie Brown cartoon after you carve it. I don't know. I always look for ways to incorporate God and Jesus into everything we do, and to start new traditions. So this will be a new tradition for us. So we carve a pumpkin every year. We've never had this book before, and we've never kind of gone over how carving a pumpkin can be taught as a Bible story. And that's not to say that every single thing has to be a biblical lesson. I mean, that sounds horrible to say it. I don't mean it the way it sounds. Obviously, as a Christian, you want to incorporate God and Jesus into as much of your life as you can, even if it's something as silly as carving a pumpkin. But, as a Christian, you do look for ways to do that for your kids, especially that's fun, so they kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? They associate the two together. And it's a nice visual representation of the story of Jesus and how he died for our sins and all that. So just something for you to think about. Definitely I would check out the book if you can. If not, even if you can, that's nice to have both. But if you can't find the book, I actually have this little thing we're going to make, and I've got a link for the printable below. It's the pumpkin prayer. And so I just stapled this together real quick. You could make it cute if you want, like punch holes and do like some kind of a yarn or something to put it together. I just stapled it. But it goes through and it says, cut off the top, and it says, Lord, open my mind and fill me with your wisdom and guidance. So it kind of walks you through the steps of carving a pumpkin and how each step relates to the story of Jesus dying for our sins and us being able to be forgiven. So it says, scoop out the yuckies. Lord, take out all my fussies and frownies and fill me with your love. So it goes through the whole thing at the very end. And then, of course, place a candle in the bottom, and then it says, Lord, let me be a light to others, for you have filled me with your light. It's just really cute, small little thing you can do. They can color it. You can keep it, every year and pull it out and you put it in their baby books. I don't know, whatever. I just thought it was a really cute, quick little thing that we could do, and I'm always looking for things like that to be fun, to have, make a regular tradition that we've already had, and find some way to link it to our faith. And I thought it was a really cute idea, and I'm sure if you look on Pinterest or Google it, you can find other things to do with pumpkins and whatever. But especially with Halloween, because Halloween is kind of a holiday that it is a pagan holiday. We still go ahead and celebrate it. We don't make a big deal about it. We trick or treat and they wear costumes, and that's really it. we're not into all the scary stuff and all that. And so I don't know, I'm sure there's some Christians that don't celebrate Halloween at all. But to us, it's just a fun tradition. It's not necessarily the way we're thinking of it as the pagan holiday, you know. Same thing with a lot of Christians that still celebrate Santa Claus. Other people could say, well, if you celebrate Santa Claus, that's taking away from Christmas. It's kind of the same thing. Everybody has their own spin on what's okay and what's not okay. For us, it's okay. We just trick or treat and they have fun. But this is a nice way if you're worried about it, you know, becoming a big deal and you don't want them to be so focused on Halloween. This is a nice way to bring in God and Jesus and still make it fun and memorable and a tradition you might have fun with every year. So I don't know, I'm really rambling in this video, but I hope that helps you. I hope you enjoyed this and maybe that I could help you start a tradition with your family. If you like this video, please like it and I'll try to do more things similar. Subscribe if you haven't yet. There's a lot of good stuff coming up on the channel. We've got some things coming up in December. I'm going to be doing a Disney World planning prep series. And then in January, I'm going to have a whole month of exercise videos and things like my favorite workout videos and my running story and how I lost, you know, so far it's 22 pounds. We'll see what it is in January, but how I lost the 22 pounds so far. Talk to you soon. Bye.